Hello and welcome to Survive the Unexpected with your host Frank Pacino and my partners in crime James Hansen and Amanda Bryant. And today we are talking about Survivor 42, the finale. But before we get to the discussion, please give us a like, subscribe on any of our podcast areas, and join our Facebook group. We talk a lot there. I really enjoyed the finale. I thought it was great. It wasn't a dull moment. What about you guys?
It's
I'll
great.
go first. So I mean, I think it was a great season, but I think like the finale was a little bit predictable. I mean, the immunity wins weren't predictable, but I thought that I was like 75% sure Marianne was just going to win, like going into tonight. I don't have anything like against it. I think she's a great winner, but I felt like it was inevitable, but it doesn't. I think the finale was average compared to most seasons, but I feel like the season itself was close to, if not more than top 10. And I think Marianne's definitely at least an above average winner. Like she didn't play the greatest game like at the start, but from like final seven on, she played like as well as you could have played the game basically.
Great.
And her final tribal council was awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed the editing that they did. I liked how they did it with the jurors. So they would flash to the jurors on the jury, talk about what their perception was or what their thoughts were, then go back to the final three. And then they went to camp a little bit, then went back to the jurors, and talked to them. I liked how they did that. I thought that Mike had a really good shot to win. I thought it was going to be a close vote. I thought it was going to be more split down the middle than what it was. I thought
Mike
it was
deserved a few more votes, I think, but
yeah. I think it could have tied possibly. I'm surprised that Romeo didn't get one sympathy vote because his edit during that final tribal council was like him rising from the ashes. So I was maybe expecting him to get like one vote, just someone who wanted to throw him a pity vote. But he didn't. True zero vote finalist, like we've seen many times before. But I thought he did well with his final tribal. I thought that he did the best he could with the game that he played. He knew he didn't play a winning game compared to the other two. But I thought that the jury was unnaturally hard on Mike. I thought that he played a really good social game. I don't know why they mixed it up. Maybe the editing showed us something different, but I thought that Mike had his social game on lock. He maybe overpromised a little bit. I think they showed us the edge a little bit. He overpromised people things that he couldn't come through to. I think that's what cost him the game. Marianne's win, I agree. I think she's a top tier winner. Definitely to upper half for sure. I think that on a rewatch, this season would be amazing. I think that her win would be even more, valued if we saw it on a rewatch. But you're right, not a dull moment. Fire making was good. I love that Mike and Jonathan were there at the end and that Mike beat him. I really thought that would at least get Mike 2 votes. But it was not the case.
so
Look. Okay, so I think this has been a really great season. I feel like the twist really tried to prevent it from hurting. The cast really saved it. I feel like 41 was pretty decent. It wasn't great, but 42 is way better than 41.
41 was awful.
Yeah.
I thought it was decent.
I thought it was okay.
The literally 3/4 of this cast can come back and play again, and it wouldn't bother me none at all.
Nope.
I think the reason why Mike got such heat was because he lied to a lot of them.
Yeah,
And they wanted them to own
jury
that.
management was not very good.
No.
He lied to Lindsay. He lied
Which
to
isn't
Omer.
his fault. I mean, like, it is his fault, but I think that Mike just is a good-hearted person. It was hard for him. He did lie a lot, but he didn't know how to. He's not used to being that person.
But yeah, he lied to Roxroy.
I think it was more with Roxroy, Omer, and Chanel who
and
were not voting for Mike, really.
Yeah.
Like, because they were all very, like, hurt by him.
Let's face it, he was really against Chanel on a different level compared to the other people.
Yeah, but we also saw Mike telling everyone, like, giving him his word, and you just can't keep your promise to everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I mean, that's what cost him, I think, really.
And then Omer literally called him out and said, he's like, I didn't lie to any of you guys. And he's like, didn't you? We weren't we all at the beach and saying, Drea, this is the final five. And then as soon as you walked away and said, we got to vote out Drea. Didn't you say that
Well,
to me
so
after
Mike
you just
said,
made that promise?
Mike, what I forgot, I think it was with Rock. He said with Roxroy, there was only like one instance where he totally lied the whole game, and that was just bullshit because he lied a lot. Like,
Yeah, he did.
if he had just owned that, he might have had a better shot.
They wanted him to own the villain game that he was playing, but him as a good-hearted person couldn't do it.
Yeah, and Mike is a great person, I think. Like, I think he is a fucking awesome guy, like, good husband, good, like, father. But, like, he played a cutthroat game, and he was still, like, trapped in this mindset where that he played some, like, loyal game. It was like, no,
Yeah.
you didn't, dude. Like, come on.
So he played like Tony in a way, but
But
he
he
didn't
didn't own it
like
like
Tony.
Tony. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Tony looked in all their faces and said, yeah, I lied. I did all those things. But I did that and I don't regret a single thing.
Tony
But
swore on his dead father, and
Yeah.
when he was asked about it, said he wouldn't take it back.
he wouldn't take it
Yeah.
back. And so if he's willing to own his game so impactful, you got to
Yeah.
own your game. And they asked Mike multiple times, and he argued with them. Instead of just saying, you're right, I may have done those things right away, he argued with them at first. It really turned them off. And then Marianne stayed quiet that whole time.
Yeah.
Because he was getting dragged. And then as soon as that was over and they draw attention to her, she laid it into them. She answered all their questions very well, which is good. When you're at FTC, you can't not answer questions. You have to answer their questions. If you don't, they're going to piss people off. And she answered every question she got, and she did it very well. I think she killed Final Tribal Council. I think she played a really good game. I want to say it's like an all-time great game because I don't think it is, but it was a really good game.
It's better
And
than
she's a good player.
She's better than the average winner, I would say. And like to win Survivor, you have to play a good game. So even the average winner played a good game, but I think she's somewhere between like 10 and 20 in terms of like good winner, and that's a good winner still. So
That is a great winner. 10,
Yeah.
20. That's yeah, absolutely.
yeah, that's why
I could see her be between like 18 and 28.
that's fine.
But still not a bad spot.
No,
I
definitely
think
not.
I think she's definitely not in the upper echelons.
I know.
I think she's she's a good winner. She's not a great winner, and she had a really strong cast to beat, so that says a lot.
Yeah. Unlike me and Amanda, you defend Erica a lot. You think she's a better winner than Erica?
I think she had a better competition.
Yeah.
I think
She's
Erica
a
had
way
more
better
control.
winner.
I think Erica had
Hands
more
down.
control throughout the whole merge than Marianne did, but Marianne had more impressive moves, more flashier moves.
I think that Marianne got very, very lucky because if Romeo wouldn't have won that competition, she would have went to fire making because Jonathan and Mike would have taken each other.
Yeah,
she got very, very lucky that Romeo won that competition, and Romeo took Marianne because Marianne worked with him on that.
I don't know. It made it so.
Romeo winning cost Mike the game, in my opinion.
I think at Final Tribal, she said something about how Jonathan was going to go into fire to take out Mike, and Jonathan didn't deny that. So maybe he was.
He was so they all they perceived once Omar went, even when Omar was there, from Final 6, Final 5 on, Mike was the guy who they thought was the biggest threat to win. And that seemed clear. Mike went straight to Romeo and was like, I know you're making me make fire. I probably have the biggest resume here. But at that point, I still think they liked Marianne a lot, but I think Marianne she did a good job even at Final 4 that they still don't think you're this big threat and will just not make you make fire. That's even more impressive, mark on her game, I think, even.
So I think it's interesting that
you didn't even have to make fire, yeah.
The last 4 seasons of Survivor, 3 of the winners had been taken to FTC and that had to make fire or win immunity. Tommy, Erica, and now Marianne.
Marianne, yeah.
Which it never happened before until
Nope.
recently. And then Tony had to make fire. So I think that's very interesting. I think people are really seeing that as a move, convincing somebody to take you when it's not
It is.
necessarily the
Yeah,
best
and I
outcome.
think Tommy
How
kind
many
of
winners has there been?
Tommy
take
kind of
it
like
from
had
one?
started that movement because he made it so clear like that he wasn't a threat when he really was, and like he's bad at fire. Like don't make me make fire, and like Lauren's gonna win if like you don't send Dean to fire against her. So I think Tommy kind of set that like trend a little bit, but I think it's an impressive move to
Yeah.
not even have to make fire. That your social game is that good, and
You'd be able to
your
do
threat
all of it.
level is still like in check, and you could still win. Yeah.
What was your question, Amanda?
What was I asking? Oh, how many winners has there been where they were the ones taken to final tribal council? They didn't have to
Just
do
three.
anything.
There's three.
Just three.
It was three out of the last
Marion,
four.
Yeah.
Tony, and
No, not Tony. Tommy
or not? Yeah, Tommy, Marianne,
and
Tommy,
Erica.
and Erica. That's it. Wow,
Mhm.
interesting. Well, but we've only done fire making since what? 35?
35, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been what, 7 seasons?
7 seasons now, and then they're gonna get rid of it. Obviously,
So all right, so 35, Ben won fire and he won the game. 36, Wendell won fire, he won the game. 37, who won fire? Did Nick win fire that?
No, he won immunity.
He didn't win fire.
Was it
Angelina?
No.
Mike
he took
won
Angelina.
fire.
Mike won fire.
Against
He didn't
Kara,
win.
yeah, okay. And then 38, Chris sent himself into fire, which
And won.
that season was bullshit, but yes, whatever.
And 39, Tommy got taken. Tony had
Yeah.
to make fire. So it's been a very outcome. There's only been one immunity winner to win actually the game. That's Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting stat.
Easy.
Do you guys like Nick?
No.
I do.
That's why I
think
don't really
he's
care
alright.
for that season that much.
You're
Like, I
turning towards-
I do like it. Like, let me look. Hold on. Let me look at it. Let me see where I have it ranked. I always forget, and I probably mentioned it 7 times on the podcast. But you know what? We're gonna do it again. Let me look. I have it ranked. Granted, I haven't seen it since what, Frank? When do you think it was that I watched that live? It's been over a year.
Yeah.
It's been a little while. I haven't seen it since.
Like a year and a half.
I
2
have
years.
it ranked 11th.
That's good then. That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. People have it in their top 5 though, quite a bit.
I don't. I have it in my top, like barely top 10. I would say this season and that are pretty close. I'd probably go.
I have Cook Islands over that season, and people.
That's
lose their
fine.
mind.
Cook Islands is good.
It's good. It's a good season.
Anyway, I gotta change the subject before I go on a tangent. No. So as a whole, I think this is the best. This is obviously the best Survivor since we've gotten newbie cast since David versus Goliath. I
You
think
think David versus Goliath is better than this season?
I think
it's close. I don't know.
I think it is because they have the dumb twists.
Yeah, I'll agree with Frank. I'll put it like 1 or 2 spots above this season.
There you go.
This season didn't have the dumb twist, the do or die, the hourglass, and things like that.
The dumb
and
phrases.
then take those out.
The phrases, yeah,
it goes up a season or 2 for me.
Yeah.
Did you like the final immunity challenge advantage?
No,
I don't hate that.
I
don't hate it.
I hate it.
I also, well, it wasn't even the final one either. It was the final 5 one.
The immunity challenge.
Yeah, the advantage where that Lindsay got. It was the final 5 challenge. Yeah. So it wasn't even the final challenge.
You shouldn't just get advantage like that. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it helps a lot, but like it's still, if you can't do the puzzle, it doesn't matter, which we saw because
but I guess okay. So we seen it twice now.
She was like 1 piece away, but
yeah.
I also think though that I don't know. I thought the challenges were good tonight. Like the final 5 challenge, I like that a lot, and the final 4 with the balls. Do you guys like the challenge with the balls? I think that's a good.
I love that
I
challenge.
like
Yeah.
that challenge.
Me too.
Because it takes physical and mental, and I think that is a package that you need, at the end.
Especially
Physical and
being
mental.
like starving, like your last day there, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mike dropping on the first
Oh my
ball is
God.
insane.
Oh, it could have cost him the
Dude,
whole
did you
game.
see him? He literally asked Jeff if he could get back into the game, and Jeff
Oh,
laughed at him.
he knew at that point, even if he could win fire, like he knew his chances of winning just got a lot smaller.
Yeah.
And yeah,
that's insane. That was the first time we ever seen that. So, that was insane, and it came to Romeo winning immunity at Final Four is kind of fun.
it was one of the wildest things like that could have happened.
Yeah, it's just it's so funny that he literally did nothing for like most of the season. Sorry, Romeo.
The whole post merge, basically.
Post merge.
Right.
But then he wins immunity at the end, and it was this finale had such great moments. I think Mike winning at 5 and seeing the emotion on his face. Marianne pulling out the idol at FTC was just such a powerful moment too, and seeing the jury's face.
I love it.
Was awesome.
That was like that to me was really her winning move, like to prove she found this second idol she didn't even need, and Mike. She had such a good social game with him that he was willing to play like his expiring idol on her, even if she wasn't getting voted out. Like the fact she didn't even have to use her idol and could just flex it at Final Tribal.
Yeah,
very impressive. I was impressed.
Yeah, I for sure thought she was going to blindside Jonathan for a minute, and I was like, I don't know if that's the right move. That would have been flashy and would have been awesome.
You want to make the move, but it was also smart though because I do think Lindsay had a better chance of winning than Jonathan.
Yes.
So it was like Marianne even said in her confessionals, like, do I make the flashy move or do I make the move that is actually like best for my game? And she made the move that was best for her game, and it paid off still. So yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Marianne would have beaten Lindsay too, still, but that just proves how smart she was at the end of the game, and how she was very calculated with like every decision she made, and that's what you want from a winner. So I was very impressed by that too.
I enjoyed her final tribal. I thought that she was able to answer at a well-spoken, good-paced answer. I was afraid that she was going to talk too fast because she can get really excited. She's a very, very happy person. Oh, yeah. I was worried that she was going to speedway her through that tribal, but she didn't. She was very, very calm and collected. She spoke very, very well. And I think that she was able to answer her questions accordingly. And I think that's some of the best parts of an FTC is someone who can take the time and explain. And she was able to do that with everything.
Yeah, I think this whole episode, yes, it was a little predictable, but I think everything hit. So that helped.
Yeah, it did.
The challenges did, the moments did, the FTC did. Even the reunion was better handled this season than it was last season.
So yeah, and I wouldn't even say predictable. It was more just like we knew based on the edit that if Marianne got to the end with anybody, she was probably going to win. So like once it got to that point, I was like, all right, Marianne's winning. When is the second Romeo took her to Final 3, but before that, like we didn't think Mike was going to win the Final 5 immunity. We didn't think. Sure as fucking hell not didn't think Romeo was going to win Final 4 immunity. So it wasn't like I said, like maybe the winner was a little predictable based on the edit going in, which I said earlier, but like what happened wasn't totally predictable. Like the way it happened, I guess.
I get it. Yeah.
To be honest, I thought it was going to be Marianne and Mike and Fire, and whoever would win that would win, but Marianne was so good she didn't have to make Fire.
I did not foresee Romeo winning that Final 4 immunity challenge.
Nobody
did. Yeah. Nobody did. I thought that Romeo was going to win Fire by some dumb miracle. I thought it may have
I
been
thought he was going to
Romeo.
get taken by whoever won the last challenge. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that that was a nice moment, and like I said, Mike winning 5 was awesome. Seeing the emotion on his face and seeing
Mhm.
how excited he was a great moment.
Mike's just a great guy, I think too. Like even
Mhm.
like I said, he might have been a little like schemy and deceptive in the game, but I think as a person, Mike is genuine as it gets, like for a Survivor player. Really, like it's like outside of the game. Like obviously when
Right.
you play the game, it goes away a little bit, but I think Mike, like I like Mike because I like to think I'm sort of like him, where just genuine, like with people, like in real
Right.
life.
You're gonna talk to everybody and want to get to know them for them. You're not
Exactly.
you're
Yeah.
not looking you're not looking for a game perspective like High. I would say like High is a little bit more game bot than what Mike was.
Yeah.
You
Like
know?
honestly, looking back, I really was not the biggest fan of High because I think
Yeah.
he was out there just to. He thought he just had this silver path to win the game, and
High was the Shan of the season for sure.
even I would say Shan was a better player than him. Even like I think
Yeah.
High peaked way too early. There was way too many good like characters who just were good on people with like a genuine level, and High basically was like looking at people as like a number, and that's like it.
And High didn't see he was so blinded to High was so blinded to what he wanted to do in the game and what his plans were. He wanted to control it so bad, so
Yeah,
he couldn't see the people coming from him from behind. You know what I mean?
everything he said in like confessionals was like this is my like strategy and like my path. Like no, bro, like you have to consider what other people are thinking too. Like yeah,
Him voting Lydia off was a huge mistake.
idiot. Like it was
Idiot.
to me sign of very like weakness. Like and
Mm-hmm.
as good as he played that tie vote with like Jenny and who was it, Lydia, like with Chanel and Daniel, like where he pretty much body bagged Daniel. Daniel was an
Yeah.
idiot, so it wasn't too hard to do that. But he basically like after the merge happened, High's game just went like complete south for me. And like there's so many good people from this season. I don't think he's gonna come back because I think there's just too many other good people to ask.
I want Tori to come back so bad.
Um,
I don't know if she will either. I think
I think Tori will go on the challenge.
it's
Oh yeah,
possible.
that's
Good.
definitely for
There are
sure.
2 immunity wins in a row that gets
I want
you.
to see Tori on Big Brother. Bring Tori on Big Brother. Let her be the
Do
first
it-
survivor in
do a
Big Brother.
Survivor Big. I want
Other
them
than
to
hate.
do a Survivor versus Big Brother All Star season on.
I
Like,
can't believe they haven't.
Yeah.
Why CBS has not done that, I don't
Mhm.
understand. I don't know if the viewing audience for Big Brother is just so different from Survivor.
It's
That's why they
really
haven't
not
done it.
though. I don't think.
It's not.
I think there's more
I know a
cross.
lot of
If
people
you're a
are
Big
fans
Brother
of
fan, you're a Survivor fan. But if you're a Survivor fan, it doesn't mean you're a Big Brother fan.
Yeah. So that's how I like.
Yeah.
So I said I've been a Survivor fan since I was 6 years old, and I never watched Big Brother until I was 25. So like,
I feel like Survivor, yeah, is the core of it. So you have like your Survivor Big Brother fans, your Survivor Amazing Race fans, and your Survivor The Challenge fans. It always kind of stems from Survivor. I very rarely do I know someone who's like a Challenge fan and a Big Brother fan, but not Survivor. Like that just doesn't.
I can't get into Amazing Race or the Challenge really, but I
I
could
can't. Well,
get
I haven't
into
tried
Big.
the
I
challenge
could
yet,
get
but I
into
cannot
Big
get
Brother.
into the race.
Like once I got done with all the Survivor seasons, like multiple times, played orgs. I knew people who watched Big Brother, and like the first season I watched, I was like, all right, like I really like this. Like it's a lot like Survivor. It's just in a house, and it's a little different format, but I still think it's like pretty similar. Plus, like I always like the drama in Survivor, and I think Big Brother has definitely even more drama than Survivor.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Big Brother is full of drama,
Oh
especially
yeah,
the
well
older seasons.
that's
And
the
Big
part I
Brother, you
love
get
the
as much
most.
footage as you want. Like Big Brother, you get as much footage as you want. Like me and Frank will log on and watch live feeds all the time.
Yeah. So the thing is, yeah. So I watched a lot of the when I first got into Big Brother was like a little bit before 22 started, like All Stars, which
Okay.
was fucking shit, but
Horrible.
awful season. But like that was the first season I watched actually like live, and I watched a lot of the feeds. And even as bad as it was, I was still pretty like invested and like interested.
Sure. It's just the pity of the All-Star, that All-Star we're getting way off topic, but the pity of that All-Star season is that the cast wasn't right. The cast wasn't right. It's not what the fans wanted, and it already had a bad, perception before it even started. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
All-Stars didn't have a chance because they didn't cast it correctly in the first place.
So I don't think it was totally casted correctly, but aside from like, so was it 16 people? I think maybe like 5 or 6 shouldn't have been on the cast, but there were some good, like, we had Ian, we had Janelle, Kaser, Danielle, Devon, Cody, Enzo. Like, there was a lot of people I liked, but it was just like, there was one big alliance. Like, that's the problem.
David had no business being on that season. David had no business being on that season at all.
No, fuck no. But like,
no,
it was just like, even last season, which I liked a little more, I still didn't like it. But like, the problem with Big Brother is that like now a lot of the time one big alliance dominates. Where we saw in Survivor this season, it was not fluid at all. Like, it was, everything changed every vote. It's more like voting blocks than alliances. Mm-hmm. And that's why we'll pivot back to Survivor 42. That's why that was so good compared to Survivor 41 or Big Brother 23 or Big Brother 22, because I just like when like people want to change shit up like after the merge, like every week. Like, yeah. I get if you want to play it safe pre-merge, don't want to make a big move, I get that. But once it gets to post-merge, like if you're just rocking with the same boring alliance like to the end, that's just boring. And I love how 42 was kind of like people were willing to go different ways, and we saw that they made big moves. And yeah, Marianne made big moves and she won. So I mean,
yeah, I think this I really liked what they did with this episode. I love the confessionals that you got from the jury going into the final tribal councils.
Yeah,
that was nice. So we got kind of a mindset before we got the jury questions, and I really do think that Mike would have got a couple more votes if he just sat there and owned his stuff.
Yeah.
Him not owning his stuff really hurt his chances of getting anything with the jury. They were looking for somebody to say, I did this, I lied, I did this, I played you guys. This jury was really, they were there to play the game. Besides, besides rocks.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And by the way, champagne and pizza, that's a little weird combination, right?
That's what they did last time, wasn't it? Champagne and pizza?
I don't remember champagne, but I remember pizza.
Was it Mountain Dew and pizza last time?
I don't know. But anyways, it's a weird combination.
I don't like the reunion. I don't know, maybe I'm different in this, but I don't like the reunion right there. Like, I like the votes read. I like the suspense of them not knowing, because then they can't spoil it for people. You know that Marianne had to tell one soul on this planet Earth that she won before the season was over. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, you usually have a pretty good idea anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, how often does it come down to one vote and you don't know? Or they don't talk amongst each other? They probably
That's true,
know.
I guess.
That's why the spoilers get out.
That's true. I guess that is true. I mean, I wish that I want to see everyone like dressed up in a professional sense, then bonded after a couple of months after the season and come back to. But I do like it there. Like, I understand the raw moment of it. You know, they just read the votes. Everyone's right there. The game's fresh. You know, they remember everything a lot clearer. I do like that part of it. I just wish, maybe I'm with you. Maybe I just wish the editing was better on it. I just wish they just.
I had to pee. I had to swap back in. So you're talking about the
reunion. Yeah, we're talking about the reunion.
So, I mean, as a viewer, for me, it doesn't change it like that much. Mm-hmm. I prefer the old way, but I thought tonight was cool, like better than the last season. I mean, maybe because I was more satisfied with the outcome than the last season, but I think they did a better job with it in 42 than 41 because I think 41 was kind of like dull and boring. Tonight it was kind of like everyone was cheerful. Even Mike, who he could have been faking it, but like he had just lost $1 million and he was still very like he was a fucking good sport about it, like and stuff.
Oh, 100%.
Like Xander
He
kind of
also was
like
hungry,
Xander kind of
dude.
was like
He ate a lot of pizza.
He ate a
yeah,
lot of
a
pizza.
lot, yeah.
He was starving, literally.
I I do think it was kind of hard because they were kind of hard on Mike at the reunion because they kind of bashed. They didn't really bash him, but they told why they didn't vote for Mike. Romeo
Right.
didn't get much play at all because Romeo had no chance. But we
Romeo
all
gave a
knew
good FTC though. He did. I'll give it to him for like you said, for the game that he was dealt. I thought that his FTC was really good for the game that he played. He was able to explain his game well. I wish that he had a better game to explain.
Like it was just like he couldn't actually get them to take
No,
him
he didn't do anything.
seriously.
He had nothing to explain.
Yeah.
Look, what we've learned from the last few Survivor seasons, it's better to play better late than early.
Yeah.
See, I've always known that.
But,
like orgs and stuff.
The early part of the game is getting there. That's the problem, is getting there. You have to make enough moves and get the right connections enough to get there. Then maybe make some flashy moves at the end, but
it's getting there is
the
issue.
Yeah, getting there is the issue.
Because Marianne had a really good end game. I think she had a solid middle game, rocky early game. But I think she got better as time went on.
That might even help you though. You know what I mean? Like if you started a little slower and you pick it up that much, that might even like sway them even more. Whereas like I think Mike, he never really was rocky. He was always in a pretty solid spot the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
But he never really made like one like huge move that was his on his own. And I think that might really be what.
And his high move was bad because Omar lied to him.
Omar convinced him. Like, I mean, it was a move for Mike, but it wasn't a move on his own because Omar got it in his head, really. And then, I mean, like I said, Mike, he played everything really well, but he couldn't say one move he made on his own. Plus, he just, like I said, he made a lot of promises, like to too many people. Mm-hmm. He really did. Like and we saw that like in so many confessionals and like edits, like people saying like even tonight, like when Mike was telling people like if he wins the final immunity, he told 3 different people he's going to give them his idol if he wins the immunity. He told Jonathan, he told Lindsay, and he told Marianne. And he ends up playing it for Marianne out of all them, the person who probably had the best chance to beat him. So that's
I think Mike also knew though too that there was a possibility that if Jonathan or Romeo went to the jury that they were going to vote for him. I think that's part of the reason why he took Marianne, because he probably thought that Marianne would have voted for Jonathan if he would have made it there, or Mike over him.
And then I mean, to me, he probably thought Drea would vote for him too, because remember what Drea said when she got voted out?
Yeah, Mike's got my vote.
She said if Mike gets the end, he's going to win.
Well, and she defended Mike too during the final tribal council because Mike was like, started going about his lie, and Drea was like, "Well, wait a second, we've all lied. Like, don't hold him accountable for that." They really gave it to him during final tribal. High was bitter, 100%. High was bitter toward Mike. 100%.
I think it's because the way he carried himself. He carried himself as somebody who was high and mighty. He wasn't lying. He wasn't a part of that. He is very loyal. He stuck to his guns. He stuck to his people, but that's not what he did.
Yeah. So
when you telling everybody, "Hey, that's what I did," but they all know the truth, he can't really do that.
So like, you can lie, but like, I don't know. Mike tried to this I think might have cost him. Try to more play like not even play like gameplay. He played like a villain, but like the way he tried to talk to people, he thought he was like some fucking just like Rupert, like just honor, like someone who would not tell a lie in a single game.
Yeah.
Whereas he
Very
played
old
like
school way of
he played
playing.
like Tony, but he just couldn't own it like that. Really,
Yeah.
like it's like he played this really good game, but like instead of telling people like, yeah, I fucked you over, like that's just part of the game. He still tried to play this honorable, like it's almost even like I hate to compare him to him because I like Mike so much more, but it's kind of like Coach in
Yes.
South Pacific. Like Coach
Listen,
played a really good game, but
before you continue, that's my player you're talking about right there. I love Coach.
Coach is good character. I'm not as high on him as a player, but I mean, I think that Mike had a similar like approach to Coach, like where I think Coach like
Delusional.
thought he was a hero and he was really a villain, where Mike was the same thing. But like Mike's not as much of an idiot, or he's more likable than Coach.
He
But I
is.
mean,
Okay. Well,
like
let's not
still,
compare him to Coach because Coach was pretty delusional.
yeah.
I'll say it was delusional you not liking him.
Well,
I love Coach.
I don't hate him. I just think he's just not that great.
He's a Dragon Slayer. He's great. He's like one of the top 5
He's
personalities ever.
He's iconic. Yeah.
Iconic. And they brought him back twice, and they tried to bring him back a third time.
They did bring him back 3 times.
Or
right?
3 times. They tried to bring back a 4th time, and he turned it down.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, look, we had a roller coaster of a season. We had a lot of people show out and play well. We've seen a lot of blindsides. We've seen a lot of flipping. We've seen a lot of things change and happen. Oh, something we didn't get a chance to talk about. Can you guys believe that they edited out the nullifier that Omer had?
Omar's nullifier that he found, but he said he found it on top of the water well. What production member would just set an idle nullifier on top of the water well?
I don't know.
That blows my mind.
Crazy to me that he had such control of the game for large portions of the game, and they didn't mention, hey, I have this idle nullifier. This is why I'm giving Mike his idle back, so that way he lets his guard down and we can vote him out.
No. His idle nullifier was pre-merge.
No.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Is that his idle nullifier was
watch this.
I didn't hear that. Yeah.
He found it. He was planning on using it at 5 to vote out Mike. That's why he gave back his idol so fast.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go scound Reddit for that. I thought it was a pre-merge.
It's in the clip I sent you.
Huh?
It's in the clip I sent you of RHAP. He talks about it.
Yeah. I thought it was post-merge too.
I watched RHAP though, and I could have swore they said it was pre-merge.
No, watch his interview with
the exit.
Exit
interview.
Oh, the exit interview. Okay.
But yeah, I just can't believe that they didn't mention that. It felt like Omer was like leading the charge when it comes to the jury a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like he
had a good say, I think, but that makes sense. Like a lot of time, I mean, let's be honest, in my opinion, he was the best player on the season. Like the best player doesn't always win.
One of the best players of all time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that might be a stretch, but like,
I didn't say the best player of all time. I said one of the best players of all time.
All right, so best non-winners, I would say.
Yes.
Like he played one of the best games up to like the point he got to, I think.
Yeah.
He got cocky, survivor confident.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just feel like this cast was great. I loved all the dynamics. Did we get a couple boring episodes? Yes, but that's every season of Survivor.
The pre-merge
really
was
only got like
the
one.
Jamie vote was good. The Jenny vote was good.
We got like I think we really only got one boring episode.
I think we got 2.
Mariah's vote out was terrible.
Yeah. And Chanel's is kind of
but merge boot still though. Like going into that night, I still wasn't. I thought it would be like Chanel, Tori, maybe like trying to think who else. Maybe one more person was up in the air, but I still think like a merge boot, like anything could really happen. So I wasn't too like just totally like bored by that vote. I think it was still at least a little bit interesting.
I think this season, I look, people gotta realize 26 is a new norm. It's gonna stick around.
They're gonna stick with that.
They're not gonna change it back.
No, I don't think
Jeff made that pretty clear with this episode. Him saying that he loves the do or die twist. Suck a fish, Jeff. Please do not bring that back.
But he said he still hadn't gotten his 41 feedback yet. But the fact that it's like worked in the player's favor twice already for me makes me think that they might bring it back and it finally will screw someone over. But
I know.
I hope not.
What a shame.
But at least like the people who are doing it now, they've seen the seasons. So like we only saw 2 people compete in this season, even when they hadn't seen 41.
Can you imagine no one competes?
What if nobody wanted to do the challenge? Like
they might not. They might have to do away with it if no one wants to do it.
I wouldn't do it.
They might have broke it with this last season because it was only Lindsay and Jonathan left, and everyone was able to come to the conclusion.
So hopefully he saw that. Hopefully Jeff saw that. The producer saw that, and they're like, "All right, we're never doing this fucking horse shit challenge ever again."
Yeah.
You have so you have the do or die in one hand, and you have the hourglass in the other. Which one you have to keep one of them. Which one you keep?
Hourglass.
I take hourglass. Me too. They're both bad, but the do or die is just more like if that like imagine if Lindsay or like Deshaun had gone home like from that, like you're screwed just for competing in a challenge. Like it's so stupid. That is the worst twist they've ever done in Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised by how we got like a lot a good preview of Survivor 43.
Yeah. Promising looking cast.
I would say that too. So we already, if you look at like Inside Survivor, the cast is leaked already, like it was the last 2.
Yeah.
So like it seems like a diverse, like interesting group again, which will be cool. Like I'm literally just basing on like pictures I've seen, but I thought that about 42, like from just seeing the pictures of 2, I was like, all right, like I'm more excited about this one than 41, and I was right. It was a lot better, but all right. So moving, like we know, all right, 43 would be in the fall. It'd be newbie season. What do you think about 44? Because I heard it's rumored to be returnee season.
I heard the same thing.
I feel like it should be 45 returnee season.
Well, that'd be fine too. But what's the theme?
Second chance too, please.
It's got to be that.
It has to be.
And
they said they weren't going to cast anybody before 40, right?
It'll be
before 20
or 30, I think, or 31. I think it'll be all people who played after the last second chance season. Is what I think.
We'll get Millennials versus Gen X. David versus Goliath.
Yep.
Survivor 42. Survivor 41. I don't think we'll get anybody from Edge. IOI. I think we'll get somebody from Edge.
No, well, I
guarantee IOI is going to be a blacklisted season. They're not
going
to bring anybody back.
It could be, but there are people from that season that I would love to see back.
Yeah.
Lauren
would be great.
Janet
would be great.
Even Dean.
Karishma.
I like Karishma back. I like Karishma.
I think Dean wouldn't be bad. Like I think either like those 3. Kelly, the one who was screwed by like the Dan thing, if she ever wanted to play again,
she probably doesn't.
She probably does not, just based off that. But if she ever really did want to, she has like pretty much a free ticket, I would hope.
Yeah. Dom for sure is going to play if it's like a chance if he wants to play.
So I think Mike and Dom are like the 2 runner-up like locks to come back, I think, really.
I don't think Mike wants to play again.
Well, you think he's too old, or?
I think last time I thought he said he didn't want to play again.
Mike? Well, he just finished like you've heard from him about it? Like
I swear I watched an interview with him saying that he doesn't want to play again.
wait, Mike, like the one who
The
just got
second place.
Oh no,
yeah.
no,
Not
I'm
Dr.
sorry.
Not
Sorry,
him.
I'm thinking of
Dr.
Mike
Mike.
White.
yeah,
Oh, Mike White.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Mike
I'm
White.
talking about
Mike
the
White.
Mike who just played. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking Mike White. Sorry.
I know it's
But
late
yeah.
for you guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do you see the girl that had one leg? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I had someone like that before. Don't you remember the guy
Yeah.
that had one leg before?
No, it was another
Was it season
female.
10 or
It was
11?
what's her name? Kelly. Her name was Kelly too, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
was it that? What season was that again? It was
I think
Nicaragua,
it
right?
was like
Kelly
it was
Bruno. Bruno.
yeah, it was Nicaragua because
Kelly Bruno. That's her name.
Nyanka pushed her over. Remember?
Yeah. What a I
Yeah.
hated her.
No.
And then
So
we've had a lot of like disabled.
yeah, I didn't realize
people.
43 already filmed.
They're filming. Well, it must have just
They must have finished it because they had a lot of promo
in a
material.
month. Like they went out maybe in like April, I think. I don't know.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So
And then 44 is probably filming like right now, I would say.
yeah. The fact that we haven't heard anything about it makes me think there might be a return.
I think it's returnees. It should 45 would make more sense, but I've heard major rumors that 44 is a second chance season, and that would be dope.
wait.
Like I think if they bring back the right people, I would be so psyched about
Oh
that.
my god, they could bring back so many millennials versus Gen X people. Shut up. That would just make my day. Bring Jay back, please.
Bring Jay,
he's too much in the challenge. I don't think
though.
he's on season 30. Look, just put it this way: he's on season 38 of the challenge, and they just flew out. So if it's out there, he's not gonna be part of it. So.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I think we're gonna see a lot of. To be honest, I think we're gonna see a lot of 37, 38. Even though that was not a great season, I think we had some good new. Like I think it was Rick Devens.
Oh yeah, he's a lock.
He's got to come back. He has to come back.
Lauren from 38, Victoria,
Dom.
Maybe the War Dog even.
Oh, I love War Dog.
Yeah, me too. And then if 39's not completely blacklisted, I think there are good people to bring back from that too.
Oh yeah.
And then I think we'll see a couple from 41, and then I think we'll see 3 or 4 from 42. I think.
Oh yeah.
They're
gonna put that cast heavy again for sure of it because from what I've been told, Jeff really loves the season too. He says it's a top season for him.
Yeah.
Jeff really likes the cast, so he's gonna want any of the people to come back again.
So who do you think for 42 is most likely?
I think Omar's a lock to come back. I think High's a lock to come back. Well, I think Omar's a lock to come back. I think Jonathan's a lock to come back, especially since he lost Fire. Especially for second chances. Are you kidding me?
And then maybe Mike or Drea or Lindsay.
Lindsay, I can see coming back. I don't know if we'll play again. They won't ask Romeo to come back.
No, he won't.
Marianne could be a winner to come back. They
not second chances. Not second chances.
Yeah.
Not for second chances. I'm just saying in general. I can see them bringing her back later down the line as just a random, they brought JT back during Heroes versus Villains, even though he was a winner.
Yeah.
I could see them doing that with Marianne too throughout the years. She's young. She's under 25.
Yeah.
So
she's the next Sandra for all we fucking know.
I think season 50 is going to be Legend season. Yeah.
It has to be.
And
realistically, that's only 3 years away.
Yeah, exactly. 3
years away.
Think about it. They could really film 3 seasons back to back to back if they wanted to with the 26-day format.
Yeah.
Without the quarantine time.
So I've heard rumors that they're going back to 39. I've heard rumors that they're not. Okay.
No, Jeff said they were not.
They're staying with 26.
Okay.
Jeff literally said that tonight. He said the new format.
The new format.
From now on, that's how it's going to be. It's not going back.
Which I hate because the days 30 through 39, all of the contestants say that's the most taxing, and they're physically demanded now. I mean, if they were out there in their 10 days.
Yeah,
They'd
but they
only
don't
be
got
2/3 the way through the season right now.
I like the 39 better, but as a viewer, it doesn't totally like change it as much for me.
No.
But I
But it
still
affects the
prefer
decision
39.
making of the game. It
Uh,
affects the decision making in the game.
I feel like it doesn't really look. I'm not partial either way. Like it doesn't bother me
Yeah.
either way. I don't think it. Look, surviving aspect of the show is like the sixth thing I'm intrigued about. I'm more intrigued about the cast. I'm more intrigued about the idols. I'm more intrigued about the challenges. I'm more intrigued about, and I'm not a challenge person. I'm more intrigued about the challenges and seeing them build a shelter and stuff like that. But it's just So it is what it is. It's at that spot. Just let it stay there. It's gonna be 26 days. People are either gonna watch it or they're not. Look, everybody's gonna watch it. They said they're not going to. They're gonna watch it.
The Facebook Survivor community, like the page, like we talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
Toxic group of people who just they're either
Oh,
trolling
probably
or
upset
they
that Jonathan lost fire.
bitch about everything. Yeah.
Yeah. It's look, Marianne was not a great winner. She was a good winner. She deserved to win. We had a great cast, a great season. Out of a Survivor season, you want a great cast, you want great gameplay, you want to see just compelling characters
That know what they're doing.
A great finale.
And
you want to see all these things. Like we got all that from this season.
We did. We got all of that from season, and we got a good pre-merge. We got a good pre-merge. We got a good swap. We got a good merge. We had a good final six. We had a good final fire making. We had a good final tribal. We had a good winner.
Yeah,
we got very lucky this season.
I mean, for real, like really, we had a great final 8 and on. Besides Romeo, they all like came to play. Like I said, I wasn't the biggest fan of him towards the end, but I think everyone from final 8 on
had a chance to win. Besides Romeo,
game, yeah,
they had a chance. 7 out of the 8 people had a chance to win at that point in the game.
Yeah,
that's I don't know how many seasons can say that.
Not many.
So, before look, the 26 days, yes, it is different, but as a viewer, it's still the same amount of episodes. It's still the same amount.
Like that's why I don't really give a fuck. Which is why, like, if people are saying, "Oh, like I won't even watch a show," like I don't respect the show. It's not 39 days anymore. It's like, as a viewer, what is it difference does it make to you? Like, yes, I would prefer the 39 days, but as a viewer, it's not changing my experience.
And they say they think the 26 days changed the family visit. No, the family visit was cut because of COVID stuff, not because of the 26-day format.
They still took the time for a family part of the show. They could easily do it either way.
Yeah, but it's just COVID was not allowed. You're not allowed to travel between countries very fluid like that. They can't just fly whoever they want out to Fiji without quarantine days. Yeah. So, look, look, 26 is here to stay. I just hope the do or die goes away and the hourglass goes away. If you take those away, I'll be a happy camper. And for the people who saying it's a week thing that they only have to do 26 days, I like to see these people live off of no food for
rice and hardly any water.
No rice. They weren't even giving rice.
Some tough guy warriors, really.
Yeah, like they're not even giving rice. So if they don't win reward challenges, they're not eating, or unless they hunt something.
Yeah.
So I don't look. I would love to play Survivor, but I'm not acting like I'm Mr. Survivor guide out there. Okay, I'm gonna struggle. If I ever get a chance to play, my ass is gonna struggle. My fat ass is gonna go hungry, and I'm gonna have some testing moments out there.
As much as I like to talk about it, I probably would possibly get medically evacuated. I mean, I can't talk that much trash about someone only playing 26 days. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
On
It's
top of
good.
that, some of their favorite players only played like 26 days.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, I mean,
that's
like,
true.
it's still a good amount of time. Like,
It's literally what, 3 weeks? It's over 3 weeks. It's over
so
3 weeks.
I saw, like, I think it was High. I don't even follow him or anything, but I saw, like, a retweet or something. He said, like, you want to play Survivor? He's like, go take a shower in, like, 60-degree water uh, with all your clothes on, and then get out and leave all those clothes on and just lay on the floor or lay outside in the cold. And,
It's
like,
impossible.
that's kind of how you'll feel. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, you gotta, like, get rained on and, like, these, you're fully clothed, and then just get, like, sitting soaking, like, drenched clothing, like, for all these days. Like, I don't care if that's 26 or 39 days. Like, it's not easy.
Yeah. I look, they changed the idols back. They need to change the idols back. We don't
Yeah,
want
get
these dumb
rid of that shit.
places.
Yeah.
Get rid of the hourglass twist and get rid of the do or die twist. And I will be look, if that was out of the game for this cast, I think this season would have been a top 10 season for me. It holds it back a little bit because it just got in the way a little bit.
So a lot of it's gonna come down to, like, how Jeff takes the feedback, really. Because, like, if he takes it and it's like, I want to do what the fans want to do, whatever. But if he just says, like, fuck the fans, like, I'm gonna do what I think is exciting, which he's never been right about that stuff, like, ever, then we'll see it again. So it's really comes down to what he wants to do versus, like, how much he's gonna listen to, like, the fans, and hopefully he does, because I think at this point Jeff has done it for so long. He
Yeah.
should be able to, like, take the feedback. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think look, I'm really nervous with him saying that he loves do or die twist. That scares the shit out of me.
So
Uh,
yeah,
uh
he loves it. It hasn't even made a fucking impact either time.
it did
But
with
it,
Deshaun vote because Deshaun would have been voted out that round if he wasn't saved because of the do or die twist.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and with Lindsay,
It didn't do nothing with
might have been
Lindsay.
voted out too.
Yeah, so
Lindsay
I
cut it close a couple times. She just couldn't
See,
do it.
I don't think Deshaun would have been voted out that night, but I think Lindsay
No.
would have.
Yeah,
I think Danny would have been voted out, or he wouldn't
was
have been.
voted out. He was voted out that round.
So he was final six. Got
Oh yeah.
six. So who got seventh?
I don't remember.
Who the hell got seventh? Leanna. It was Leanna.
Oh yeah.
So actually, it might have been Leanna either way because she was on the wrong side of the Shan vote. So I think she was next, but so I don't think, like, it would have been Deshaun if he hadn't been safe after that. But yeah.
Is there anything out of the new Survivor these last two seasons that you would like to carry over and keep carrying over for future seasons?
Like old season stuff, or like
no, like this last two seasons that they've done, like like when we joke around, this is 41.5. Like the shot in the dark, do or die, things like that. Would you like any of those things to continue into future seasons?
I don't mind the shot in the dark.
I like the shot in the dark too.
Yeah.
I would like them to tweak the shot in the dark just a little bit.
Make it 1 and 4.
Oh,
Make it live on television.
I would
make it a die that you roll live on the camera, not you pick a scroll and then the production gets to show it. That's just too sketchy for me.
That. Yes, that'd be awesome. Yes.
They need to do a die, an actual shot in the dark die, like they showed before in a preview. Remember when they showed them like doing the die down the thing?
Yeah.
Why can't they do that? Why does it have to be a scroll? That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Right. I think
makes me think it's rigged. Basically.
Yeah. I I think if they just took the odds down every time someone used it, it'd make
Yeah,
it
that would
more
be cool.
interesting.
Yeah.
And like get it down to like it won't get lower than like 50-50 chance. And then as soon as someone takes that 50-50 chance, it goes back to 6 or 4 or 5. It's just something like that where you can game plan around it to make it in your favor, but like you're just literally taking a chance, and we haven't seen it pan out, and we've seen a lot of people play it this season, which
All right. So
I really enjoyed that.
I just thought of one more thing, which I think should stay, which I liked. The amulet advantage. I think that's a good advantage.
I do like the
I
amulet
think they should do it every couple seasons, not all the time.
Yeah, but I like how like if you it comes like the dynamic where the three of you know like what's going to happen based on how many people are left. So like it really benefits the strongest player of the group to get rid of the other two to turn the advantage into an idol instead of like just like an extra vote. Which what happened with Lindsay this season, but she just played it really, like really poorly. But oh, that was so. I think. What do you think? So if like we're giving out like org awards, worst move of the season. Was it Lindsay not playing her idol
Nope,
on
it was
Omar?
Yes.
Chanel.
Oh, 100%.
Nope, it
Yeah.
was Chanel. Get rid of her vote.
Either one, they're both bad.
Really, really good.
But like Lindsay, so Chanel's though was early enough in the game, and like she couldn't have known too much. Like Omar was doing, like, trust really what he was saying. But I
Oh, he froze. No, I definitely would put it on Chanel. Chanel was the one that I feel like was the worst. It literally destroyed two people's games.
Yeah.
You could arguably say that with Lindsay's too, but I just felt like it just
Lindsay's. I think that Lindsay made the worst move of the game. I disagree with you. I think that was the worst move of the game because it was the final time for her to use it. She had no other option to use it other than that time left, and she still didn't use it. And then her number one ally went out of the game. I just think that's got to be the worst move.
If she just plays it for him, she has a way better chance of getting to the end. Like way better.
Yeah. Well, think about it. If she saves Omar there, he's probably the target at 5, not her.
Oh, probably.
Probably. No, absolutely.
Yeah. So, which makes a huge difference. And then you have a chance of either win the immunity or win fire at that point.
Yeah, and so Mike was very confident. Like he played his idol for Marianne like the last chance. He never even had to play it for himself because he played a very good social game. But like, imagine if Lindsay and Omar had idled Mike out that night. Like, how much of a baller move that would have looked like for Lindsay. Like that's just like she fucked that up so bad.
Yep.
So bad.
It's just look, nobody plays a perfect game. I mean, maybe okay. There's a few people who've played a perfect game, but
and like I'll say, my favorite player ever, Tony. So I would like to say his winners at War Game was as close to perfect as it could get, especially against a great cast. But in Kagayan, I think he played a great game, but he also made like a lot of mistakes. Like, you can play a great game.
He learned from it though.
You can play a great game and still make a lot of mistakes and still win, which is like that's what I'm saying. Like Frank said, nobody plays a perfect game. It's like most of the time, like Marianne didn't play a perfect game. Like she definitely made some mistakes. Like everybody makes some mistakes. Like I mean, it's just about how you can overcome them and how much you can argue your own game at the end and convince them why they should give you the $1 million and not somebody else. So yeah.
Look, I think it says a lot about you as a player if you overcome adversity.
I agree too.
I think people who can't face adversity, like a Boston Rob. Boston Rob is awful at adversity.
Awful.
That's why they're not quote unquote great players in my opinion, because if you can't recover from something that going your way, are you really that good of a player, or are you just a front runner?
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
uh, uh, I look, if we can get Survivor like this every season with a cast like this, get rid of the twists, and I'll be a happy camper. We don't
I'd be
need
totally cool with it.
we don't need the dumb twists. We don't need
No.
do or die. We do not need hourglass. We do not need to know everybody knows who has the idols.
Fuck
Like
Right.
yeah. That's my so like I hate the other shit, but like I hate that now if the last 2 seasons you find an idol and you're at a disadvantage until like everyone else finds them, and even then it's like everybody knows who has your fucking idol. So really,
right.
like what happened to the good old days? You find an idol and you don't tell
Keep your
anybody.
mouth
And
shut.
yeah,
That's the way it should be. Listen,
it should
Troy
be.
Zan didn't tell anybody about his idol. He made it all the way to the final 3. Marianne didn't tell anybody about her idol. She freaking won the game. You keeping your advantages a secret can be beneficial to you. I understand sharing information to gain allies, but sometimes you don't need to do that. I hate to bring up my own game, but I had an idol in Second Slime that I found really early on, and I kept it a secret and didn't tell anybody about it at all. Not even Devin, who was my number one idol. I didn't tell him
I've had
until
a
the
few
night.
times I didn't tell anybody either. Yeah.
Yep. Didn't say a word to anybody because I knew that as long as I didn't say anything, one, anyone who says they have it, I know they're lying. And two, anyone who they're still going to be looking for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll let them keep looking for it because then they know that, you know what I mean? It's not found per se. Everyone thought for the longest time that the Arnold idol didn't exist because everyone looked and couldn't find it, and I had it the whole time and didn't say a fucking word.
So I know like everyone doesn't like Russell and all, but like Russell also handled the idols perfectly. Like,
oh, absolutely,
exactly
Russell's the OG king of it. Literally, the OG king of idols.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, the I know you weren't the biggest fan, but the cast they have came up with the last 2 seasons have been pretty good. Actually, even like take Dana IOI as a pretty good cast.
I liked IOI cast.
Take
actually
Edge of Distinction, take the twist out as a pretty good cast.
Yeah.
David Sklar, pretty good cast.
So
like they've done really well with their casting.
41 was the worst cast out of the seasons we just named. Like basically just on paper, I think. That's what I really just did not like 41 that much. 39 was not that good either. 38 fell flat because of the twist and the winner. But I think 41's the worst season out of the recent. It's for me like bottom like 7 season probably.
I have it 5, 10, 15.
I think I have it around. I have it around like 28 to 30.
35, I'd say.
Oh, I definitely would never watch some of the seasons. There's certain seasons I'll never watch again if I don't have to.
Wait till we watch Thailand.
Yeah, Thailand's awful.
Yeah.
That's the worst season.
Thailand is so bad.
By far. The
Redemption Island.
It's so bad. So bad.
But I think that's gonna cover it for Survivor 42. We loved it. We think Marianne's a good winner. I don't look, it's a split community when it comes to Survivor. Yes, they're changing things, but like people were upset when they swapped tribes. People were upset when they added the idols.
People
were upset when they do anything to change. Eventually, it just becomes the new normal. I was very upset with the fire making challenge. Now I just accept that it's there. So
right, it's just part of the game now. You'll get used to it. I don't think I'll ever get used to do or die. I think I'll bitch about it every single season.
Okay, that will not get used to, but the days won't even like.
Oh yeah, the days won't even matter. Yeah, the days doesn't matter.
The real thing is
I'm like going through my rankings, and I have 42 seasons ranked, and I know that's not right. So I ranked one twice, and I'm interested to see where I put it. 2 different spots on my shit.
No, I think I would like I said, there's people that I would love to see from this cast play again. Maybe we'll have a little discussion on people who would like to see play again. But yeah, I think that's about it. We're gonna start Big Brother 3 here soon. I'm super excited. I love Big Brother 3. These guys have never seen it.
I've never
James is
seen
pretty
it.
much spoiler free, so that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to cover the first 5 episodes. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, please give us a like, subscribe to any of our social media accounts or our podcast locations. It means a lot to us. We're on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, um, Podbean, and join our Facebook group. We try to be active in there as much as we can. Really means a lot interacting with everybody. So if let us know what you guys think of Survivor 42. Did you like it as much as we did? We're all pretty high on it as a whole. Um,
Mhm.
I look, it's not a holy grail, but it's a really good season.
It's
So
not Cagayan, but it's good. Yeah.
yes. So please let us know what you thought about it. What do you think of Marianne as a winner? Just let us all know. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for you guys for listening. Thanks. Bye.